Hey, what's up, my Dragon Legion? How y'all been? So there, Dragoons. Today we have a very special deck profile for you all to check out today. Now, if you Dragoons have known past, I have done some Amber Dragons, and when I first started doing Vanguard on this channel, I did quite a bit of Lawkeeper. So in today's channel right here, today's video right here, we're gonna be doing a little bit mixture both things together, and it is a Lawkeeper Amber Dragon deck profile. Now, I came up with the idea of mixing some things a little bit. I was just scrolling around, testing out Amber Dragons on their own. Then, just when I was about ready to grab Lawkeeper and try out Lawkeeper again, I was like, oh my god, why don't I try out a Lawkeeper Amber Dragon deck profile? So, I haven't done any tests with the deck yet. When I get after this deck profile video, I'll try this deck out on some games here and there, see what happens. And all in all, for now, let's check out how this deck is right now for now moment, shall we? Alright, start out with your starting Vanguard, Amber Dragon Dawn. Now, Amber Dragon Dawn, you kind of have to play this when your deck is all about the Amber Dragons, because even with or without Lawkeeper, you really do need to get to your grade 3 as fast as you possibly can, and you really do need to roll with your Amber Dragons as fast as you possibly can. So it does make a little sense to have Amber Dragon Dawn in this deck right here. And for the trigger lineup, of course, the 4 heals. I don't think this is ever going to change until we do a format that says so otherwise, as far as I know at least. And as for the trigger lineup, normally when I do trigger lineups, I normally do the 6 critical, 6 draw build, or 4 draw and 8 critical lineup. But in this video right here, I'm going to be doing things a little bit different than what most of you Dragoons are used to out of this channel. I'm going to be doing the 4 critical, 4 draws, pardon me, and some a little bit new and different. I'm now going to be doing stand triggers. Now, the thing with the Lawkeeper, pardon me. Now, the thing with Amber Dragons, that even though this deck right here, well, what am I getting at? Oh yeah. Now by doing this right here, keep in mind you're not always going to be able to hit that opponent's Vanguard, especially while knowing that your deck is a little bit more. This deck right here is going to be a little bit more Amber Dragon based than Lawkeeper based. So, in case of your Amber Dragon Eclipse's attack does not get a hit, you do, at least by hitting into a stand trigger, you'll be more likely of getting to the rear guards a little bit easier. Like, the potential of retiring more rear guards with or without the ability of Amber Dragon Eclipse is always pretty nice. And plus, it does give your deck a little bit different types of maneuvers when you play this deck in this weird specific way. Something a little bit new, different that I think we're not used to in a long time. And that's it for the grade 1 for trigger lineup. For the grade 1 lineup, it's pretty much standard how I normally play Amber Dragons. The max daylight, the max bar, the max Bari, and the 3 Gilmans, Dragon Monk Gojos. That's pretty much the same when it comes to the Amber. That's pretty much the same when it comes to Amber Dragons. Now, normally when I play Lawkeeper in any of my Kagero decks, I normally tech in Lizard Soldier, Rapier, but I figured that's just the Amber Dragons, and what Lawkeeper does alone is pretty much good enough alone right there. I don't need to go crazy and max out on everything, so I figure right here is just fine for now. And that's it for the grade 1 lineup. For the grade 2 lineup, we have the 4 Daylights. Now, as I said in the past, I'm still testing out the theory of only playing 2 Daylights, see what happens. After this video, I'll cut 2 Daylights out and try out like something else in particular, see what happens. Next, we play the 4 Dragon Knight No Harlems, just for some beatdown reasons, and 2 Berserk Dragons, just so I can take out that 1 grade 2 lower rear guard that I don't want to deal with anymore. And that's it for the grade 2 lineup. For the grade 3s, I'm playing a 1 tech of Dragonic Overlord, just in case if I run into a situation where I don't get Amber Dragon Clips nor Lawkeeper in my hand. And if I get Overlord and still 1 of 3, it's not that bad. I mean, the potential ability where he can take out your opponent's entire front row and deal at least 1 damage to your opponent is not bad. Granted, it's kind of costly, but if you can land those attacks, it can be worth it. But most likely, it's your ideal rear guard when something like that comes up. And next, we play 3 Lawkeepers. Now, Lawkeeper, he's just mostly there for in case if you don't get your eclipses or that such, and if you don't get Amber Dragon Eclipse, it's not the end of the world. But if you get Lawkeeper over Eclipse, you can really do some massive damage. Like, your opponent will not see this card coming. Use his ability, Limit Break 4, Counterblast 1 card, bind all your opponent's rear guards, and then just go reckless nuts on your opponent. Like, just keep annihilating on your opponent while he or she knows that he or she has no rear guards to intercept against you. Make your opponent use up a good portion of his or her hand, and then by next turn you can just ride the Eclipse on top of your Lawkeeper, and then him, and whatever you have on board, we'll just finish off your opponent from there. And next, to finish off the entire deck profile, we have, of course, the 4 Amber Dragon Eclipses. Use his ability, Counterblast 2. When his attack is a hit, choose 2 of your opponent's rear guards, retire them, which is pretty good right there. Alright there, my Dragon Legion. That right there was my Lawkeeper Amber Dragon deck profile. It does look pretty good. I didn't think I would ever come up with something that's a little bit creative than what I'm used to on this channel right here. I have not played this deck yet, so I can't really say yet whether or not this deck is good or bad yet. But whether or not this deck is good, what I may end up also doing in near future is try out a Lawkeeper Dote Kagura deck profile. I love the ability where I can just come out of nowhere and have Lawkeeper and Dragonic Overlord the end instead work together and just deal some massive damage to your opponent. So I don't know if I'll be doing that or not. I'll have to do some further test plays in the near future. But for now, I think this looks pretty cool. Let me know what you Dragoons think about this deck in the comment section down below. And I'll see you all around. Hope you Dragoons enjoy this video. Leave a like and favorite if you did. Hit subscribe today to become part of the Dragon Legion Alliance. And I'll see you Dragoons another day. Christian Dragoon, signing out. Peace.